welcome to the Pip and Pin Podcast. My name is Megan Nodecker, and I'm a knitwear designer from Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. You can find me on Instagram as Pip and Pin, on Ravelry as Knit Pip and Pin, and on our website, pipandpin.ca. Today is October the 7th, and it's finally starting to feel like fall a little bit. We've had some really beautiful weather. It's been sunny and in the 20s, and today it's gray and very much more October weather, which I kind of love. So I'm ready for it. Summer's not my thing. This is episode 61, if you were interested. This is a knitting podcast. I talk about some of our new releases, some of our knit-alongs, my works in progress, my finished objects, and some life stuff at the end as well, if you are interested to hear about that. So thank you so much if you are a returning viewer, and welcome if you're new. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to start things off by talking about something that I've been working on, that Katie and I have been working on since last year. Probably over a year is when we've started getting yarn support for this, and it's kind of changed. Things have changed. It's 2020. Things like to change. So originally, this was going to be for our fourth knitting pattern book, but since Knit City was supposed to be last weekend, which is the big fiber festival in Vancouver, that did not happen. Didn't happen this year, which is why I was away last week in the cabin in the woods, so I wouldn't have to be so sad about missing Knit City. But this was going to be our fourth book for Knit City. Since that didn't happen, it's really hard to sell books when people can't pick them up and touch them, and flip through them and feel the pages and things like that. So kind of once we realized that things were going to look a little different this year, we decided to pivot and and do a digital collection instead. So we still have the 6 patterns that we were working on this whole year, but it's going to look a little different. Instead of doing a physical book, we are doing a slow release collection. And what that is basically from October 16th, on the October 16th new moon, until March, we're going to be releasing a pattern a month on the new moon. And they're all going to be part of this Sabino Canyon is the name of it, the Sabino Canyon slow release collection. And if you sign up for the ebook, you will get each mystery pattern once a month. I think it's really cool. It's like a mystery pattern club. I know mystery yarn clubs are a big thing, and I think a couple other designers do something kind of similar. So this is just our iteration of it. We had to switch things up this year, and I'm pretty excited about it. So we have our first pattern coming out in just over a week. It's Thursday today, so 8 days. And our first pattern is going to be released. This one is a little less mysterious than the rest of them. It's the Sabino Canyon cardigan. You can find more information. I will put the links down below to our website page, which has all the information, all the dates, the types of things that are going to be included, not specifics, and as well a link to the Ravelry ebook, because you can buy the presale right now. So with this collection, it is going to be less expensive than if you were to buy all the patterns individually, by a lot. And the patterns will be available individually as well, but it's definitely much more cost effective if you get all of them at the same time. Plus then you get a little surprise once a month, which is always fun. Yeah, so we have, what was I talking about? Totally lost my train of thought. Like it just disappeared. We have a collection. Oh yeah, if you sign up for the pre-sale, there's even a discount on top of the already discount. So I believe on Ravelry it's $23 American, which is about 30. Ooh, when I made the website it was at 30, but I think it's 31 now, so $31 Canadian, and that's the regular price. The pre-sale is $20 American and 28 Canadian-ish. Sorry, conversion rates change all the time and our dollar is garbage. So can I do about that? But anyways, I'll put all the links for all the information. I really hope that you like this idea. I had a lot of fun putting it together. Photography was a little strange for this one. Our original plan was to go to my mom's house in Arizona. She has this beautiful backyard, and we were going to do all the photos there. Katie was going to fly from Hawaii, and I was going to fly down from BC, and we were going to meet there and have a vacation and do our photography, and it was going to be lovely. That didn't happen. So, like many things, it just didn't happen. So instead, Katie is actually living in Hawaii right now, but she's coming back. She's coming back in like 4 days, which is super exciting. But we decided instead of, I don't know what the other option was. Basically, I just had to do all the photography myself. So my mom also has a condo here. I kind of took that over because she wasn't here at the time. I set up a little photography studio and used a self-timer to try and take all these pictures. So I'm pretty pleased with how they turned out. It was definitely a learning curve. I spent a whole day doing them, and I'm it's so different from the original concept that we had and the all the ideas of what this was going to be a year ago to what it actually became. And I'm really happy about it. I think it's really neat. I'm really excited about this slow release, kind of mystery pattern collection. I think that's something just a little more fun, and my main intention behind doing it the slow release instead of releasing them all at once was, I find sometimes with a collection that gets released, all at the same time, there's your favorite. Like, here's the favorite thing, and this is the reason why you bought this collection or whatever, but there's always one that's the reason. And then you kind of almost forget about the rest, or just don't give them really as much attention as they might deserve, or you might kind of miss something. So my thought behind doing it slowly is you kind of get the chance to explore the patterns a little bit more, because you're only getting them one at a time. So you see this one pattern instead of 6 patterns, and then pick your favorite kind of thing. Anyways, that was my thought behind it. Let me know what you think about that. I mean, this is totally a whole new thing for us. So far, there seems to be some good interest in it, which is nice to see. But I'd really like to know, like, do you prefer having the collection all at once, or is the mystery something that intrigues you? Does it make you a little more excited? Because that's what my goal is I want to, do designs, but I just really want to make people excited about them. That's kind of the main thing for me. I want people to be excited about the things, anything. I don't know. I just like making people excited about things. So I hope that this is something new and a little different that makes you excited. For more information about everything and to get a little bit of a sneak peek of the first pattern, I'll put the link to our website below. And I'm going to stop talking about it now because I'm going to talk about it more next week when the actual first pattern drops. You can get the pre-sale price, which is discounted for until the 15th. So until October 15th, the day before the first pattern drops, you can get the special discounted pre-sale price. The second thing that I wanted to talk about was the knit along that we're running in our Ravelry group, and it is the Hand Knits Knit Along. Hand knits. So that is our mitten and fingerless glove knit along, and it is running until November the 2nd. And I had great intentions of starting a pair of mittens for myself, and I haven't started yet, and I realized November 2nd is not actually that very far away. So we'll see if I actually get them done or not. I was debating extending it, but I think I'm just gonna try to make it. It's good to have goals, right? So you can use any pattern you want, but if you do decide to use a Pip and Pin pattern, which there are a couple, we don't have many, you get double entries. So in the finished object thread, you just post twice, and you get 2 entries. There will be prizes. I have a whole bin of stuff waiting to go to new homes. Yeah, and whips are allowed as long as they're less than 50% done. So if you have one that's finished and still need to make the second one, totally do it. So I think a month, a little less than a month, is plenty of time to knit a mitten. The patterns that I was thinking of are both by Diana Walla, and they are both Harry Potter inspired patterns. And I threw up a little poll on Instagram, and it came out 50-50. So that was not helpful. The first one that I was thinking of was from the official Harry Potter knitting book, and that is Expecto Patronum, and it has like, I'll pop a picture up here as well, but it has like a tree and then the stag, and it says Expecto Patronum on it. And I like those ones because they're not, well, both of them are definitely Harry Potter, but not like in your face Harry Potter, you know what I mean? And then the second one is Justin Loyal, and those are the Hufflepuff mittens, colorwork mittens. So those are my options, and this is the yarn that I'm gonna use. This is Lamanicomo, and it is ridiculously soft. The only thing is my colors might need to be switched, and I don't know, like, is there enough contrast even? I don't know. I might have to switch my colors. Can we do blue ones? I don't know. Is that okay to, like, I don't want yellow ones. I do really like yellow, but I also don't want them to be too, I don't know. I just don't want them to be yellow and black or yellow and brown. I want them to be different colors. So we'll see. We'll see if those even happen. Maybe I should do a little test and see if these even have, I think they have enough contrast for color work. What do you think? I think these are gonna be good. For the Justin Loyal ones, which honestly, those are the ones I'm leaning towards, there's a ribbed cuff that's quite long, and you kind of use the light color as your main color and the darker color for your details, but I don't have enough of this to do that. So I would have to either switch the colors, which I don't think I'm gonna do, or what I was thinking is doing the cuff in the darker color and then just having the other parts white. I don't know. I feel like I've spent a lot of time talking about that, and really I just need to make up my damn mind. I guess I can talk about what I'm wearing today. I am wearing my cat ball sweater, and this is a pattern that I released last year. And if you watched the last episode or have been following on Instagram, the Cat Bells cardigan is the sister pattern to this. So this is the original. It is made with the fiber company Cumbria in the Cat Bells colorway, which is where the name of the pattern comes from. And I had been wanting to knit with this color forever. I really love this sweater. I love the squishy kind of garter stitch pattern. It's textured. It's interesting to knit. It has a kind of a lower, scoop neck, which is kind of a must for me. I don't like anything too high up. The only thing, and I'm wearing it right now because I'm sitting down, but the only thing that I don't particularly like about it is the length. I did design it to kind of be a bit bubbly, so it kind of bubbles at the body and then the sleeves as well. You can't really tell because I have them rolled up, but there is a little bit of balloon sleeve action there, and that's on the body as well. But it's too short. It just hits me in the wrong spot. It's kind of right at, just right at the top of my pants. Sorry. But every time I put it on, I'm like, oh, I love this. And then I hate the length. So I do have some extra, and I just need to rip back it is top down, so it's really easy to adjust the length. I just need to make it longer. And maybe not take it in. Like I might, because there's some decreasing before you do the hem. And so I might just leave those decreases out. It'll be a little bit different. I mean, all the sweaters that I make, I bring with me to yarn festivals when they are there and have samples, because that is something that is important, to have samples. But I don't feel like, even though the sample is going to be slightly different than the pattern, I mean, especially with the top-down pattern, you can very easily change the length. And if somebody's really interested in it and tries it on and da-da-da, I can always tell them, like, hey, I cropped the length a little, or I lengthened it a little bit after the fact. I don't think that's a big deal. I'd rather have a sweater that I love and wear than a sample that gets taken out once a year be perfectly accurate. I was actually just thinking about some of my samples too, and I have a lot of them. So I think we need to do some sort of sample sale. I do have lots of finished objects as well. We spent 8 nights in a cabin by a lake, and I knit a lot. I knit less than I thought I would, but I definitely finished all the things that I wanted to finish. I had an Atlan sweater, which is a design I did from a few years ago. It was the first sample that I did, and it was completely finished. It's just none of the ends are woven in, and it was made with Cascade Eco, so really like cozy, squishy sweater. It was just in a size bigger than I wanted the sample to be in. I don't know exactly why. I think the shoulders were fitting weird or something. So I never finished it. But as I was pulling out sweaters and things to go camping, I was like, this would be perfect. It's big and cozy and just comfy. So I brought it with me and finished it while we were there. Long story short, I'm not going to show it to you. It's the Atlan sweater. It's exactly the same as the sample one, just a size bigger, so a little more roomier. Maybe I'll wear it next time. I don't know. I also finished this guy. And this is the Ironwood hat. It's another design of ours from, there's red all over it, of course, because it's black. How's that showing up? Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, so this is the Ironwood hat. And this is using Union Fiber DK in the Misunderstood colorway. It's just some leftovers that I had. And I was very, very close to what the pattern suggested. But my math was correct. So I did have enough yarn. And it's not blocked right now, so it will, stretch out a little bit. And this is a gift for one of my friends. He had requested a hat last year. And I said, yeah, sure. And then promptly bought yarn for it, which isn't this yarn, and took a year to make a hat. So I really hope he hates it, because I want it. And Georgia was wearing it all weekend because we were in such a rush that I didn't bring any of our knit accessories with us. So Justin had some hats that he brought and some gloves and things. I didn't bring gloves. I didn't bring scarves. I didn't bring mittens. I didn't bring anything. So I was wearing this because the nights got cold. Like, we were camping end of September. It gets chilly in the mountains. We had coats and stuff, but yeah, no warm, woolly things. But I really just hope that he doesn't like it because it fits me perfectly. And who doesn't need a basic black hat with cool cables all over it? The other thing that I finished was this, and it doesn't have a name yet. But I worked really hard to get this finished. This is a new design that I've been working on for a while. I don't know what yarn it is, so don't ask. It's a little wrinkly because it was in a suitcase. But it's a design very similar to the Mama cardigan, which is just kind of an oversized cardigan, open front cardigan. This one is has a few little details that are different. So it has a kind of faux cable running along the raglan, and the sleeves are in the Mama, they kind of taper in. These ones I left wide, which I honestly wasn't sure of. I thought I might have made a mistake, but after wearing it, it's amazing. And then it has a split hem down here as well. So, I mean, it's hard to see a cardigan. It's hard to show things on a camera when you're not wearing them. So sorry about that. It kind of just looks like a big blob of stockinette. But I did, because I wanted to finish this while I was up there, because in the however many years I've been designing knitting patterns, I've always wanted to design some things and have a photo shoot in the fall. What happens in the fall though? Knit City happens right before all of the leaves change here. So I was always making the decision between, do I get this ready, take photos and have it ready for Knit City, or hold it off? And the option, what I've always chosen is to have it ready for Knit City, because have it ready for Knit City. But I was able to, the leaves are just kind of starting to turn here. So I was able to go, there was a beautiful meadow and everything was kind of starting to turn gold, which was perfect. Again, I just took my self-timer and my thing and set up my tripod and hoped there wasn't bears, because last time we were there was definitely bears in that meadow. One munching on some apples. So yeah, wishing the bears away. I didn't run into any, so that was good. And I did finally get some fall-ish pictures. And I do actually have another shawl that I keep forgetting about. I finished it in like the spring, that I would like to take pictures of as well. So maybe I'll wait for the like orange leaves. I'll find some big oak trees somewhere in a week or two and take some photos of that. I'll be starting testing for that one soon. I don't know exactly when it's going to be released, but it will be released at some point. So if you have any name suggestions, I'd love to hear them. My mind is stuck on something gold, and I know some people hate it when you name things after the color, but I don't mind it. You don't have to make it gold, but it can still be called gold. The other thing I almost finished. Technically, this is still a work in progress. Aside from the fact that Justin wore it, I did not finish it before we left. I did not have enough time to finish the gold cardigan and his cardigan. So I opted to finish the gold one and promised him that I would finish this while we were up there, which I did. I finished it on the second day that we were there. And he didn't take it off. So I'll show you. let me do up a button here so that it stays together. What I made for Justin is a Gramps cardigan, and this is a pattern from Tin Can Knits. It is one that I've made many, many times for Georgia. After making this one, I might make one for myself as well. It's lovely. Oh my goodness, except I'm gonna have to reinforce some things here. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna show you this sweater and then I'll show you a disaster. Okay, so sweater, Gramps cardigan by Tin Can Knits. Really great pattern. A comfy, cozy grandpa cardigan. It's lovely. I did alter gauge because my gauge was nowhere close to what the pattern suggested. So I just kind of did it. I did do some math and some gauging, but also Justin's arms are quite large, so I wanted to make sure that it would fit his arms properly. So I tailored it quite specifically to him. I used the yarn. The yarn that I used is Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, which is lovely. It's this lovely woolen spun yarn. This is the Yellowstone, and I believe this is Barn Owl, which I think they discontinued. And then we did pick out buttons before we left. So I made 8 buttonholes, but we only used 4 buttons. Or 5. Yeah, I put double buttons on the bottom there. But that's okay. You can see the extra holes in the camera, but you can't actually see them very well in real life. So I'm not too worried about it. Also, orange was the only color. I didn't want to be sewing on buttons with Shelter, so I sewed them on with whatever I had, which happened to be orange. He kind of likes it, so we might just leave it, but I might just change it when he's away. Now, one more thing. I learned how to do a sewn tubular bind off, which is something that I've not been afraid to try. I'm never afraid to try things. I just never set the time aside to learn it, which I'm so glad that I did. It's a really nice bind off, and I can totally understand why everyone says you should do a tubular bind off, because tubular bind offs are great. They look really nice. They feel really nice and stretchy. They're brilliant. Now, on to some sadness. If you are going to make a Gramps cardigan using Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, I have a suggestion for you. When you are casting on for the top back, your first cast on row, I would suggest holding your shelter with something more sturdy. Maybe a sock yarn that, just for the cast on, you'll barely even be able to tell. Maybe even just a piece of sturdy thread. Because I found, when we were camping, I found this guy. This is a little thread that has split. Shelter is quite delicate, not the sturdiest, so I wasn't surprised when this happened. Easy fix, no big deal. After looking at it today, I don't know. Yeah. So I'm gonna bring you right up close. There's a break here now. There's a break here now. There's a break here and here and here and here and here and here. I think that's it. Along the fronts, it's fine because you have the stability of the knit stitches, but this top bit is gonna need some love, which I'm not mad at it. I mean, I know people have things to say about Brooklyn tweed, but I feel like it's not the fault of the yarn, because you know the yarn that you are buying. It's a woolen spun yarn. Woolen spun yarns are not workhorse yarns. They're not super strong. They're not sock yarns. So I'm not terribly upset. I find it kind of funny that all of a sudden the entire back is separated from the collar. It's really just gonna take, what I'm gonna have to do is just some reinforcing. It will take some time. I think Justin's gonna be mortified. He's probably gonna be way more upset than I am. But it'll take some love to get those back. Oh, that's gonna be a night. That's gonna be an evening of work for sure. So aside from that, now I have to do that. There's also 2 pockets that need to be sewn on the front, and it needs to be blocked. So I'm gonna block the cardigan and the pockets separately. First I'm gonna fix it. Then I'm gonna block everything separately, and then I'm gonna sew the pockets on. It was so close. Oh, at least I know for next time. And now you know too. If you're gonna use shelter, reinforce your edges. He's also, I'm not gonna make too many more excuses about that, but he's also very hard on his clothes. So, I mean, maybe that's on me. Maybe I shouldn't have chose shelter, but it's so lovely. No, we'll just have to fix that seam. No biggie. We'll do some surgery. I love doing knitting surgery. It's kind of my favorite thing. All right, so on to my next whip. This is something that I don't even know when I cast these on. I think I cast them on when Georgia wasn't in school, and we, all the playgrounds were shut, and so we were just going for walks all the time. I just always had some stripy socks on the go so that I could walk and knit and sit at the park and, or not sit at the park, go to like a field or something. Anyways, these are some socks, and they're stripy, and they're shorties. And these are actually the very first pair of short socks I've ever made. The yarns are, this is Knit Picks Felici in the teacup colorway, except I cut out, if you know me, I do not have a problem cutting out the colors that I don't like. And this one, the colors were fine. It was just, there was this color, and then there was one that was super similar right next to it. And I didn't like that. I didn't want a blob of the light, so I just cut one of them out. Yeah, and then this is Stroll in Ash, I believe. Knit Picks as well. And I think I might make a little pom-pom and put it on the back heel. Just, I don't know, I think it would be cute. And I like them, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know about the fit yet. I mean, I really just have to finish them and block them and wear them around. But I feel like this bottom bit is too low, like on the back of my heel. So maybe if I, maybe if I had done a heel flap and gusset, it would kind of raise it up a little bit and make it fit a little better. But we'll see. We'll see when it's actually done. I mean, I've just tried it on. You never really know. Socks are weird. You can knit the same, I don't know. I always have troubles with my needle size, because sometimes it's a 0, sometimes it's a 1, sometimes it's 64 stitches, sometimes it's 60 or 68 even. And I find it just really depends on lots of things. I feel like when we were up at the mountains, I was a very loose knitter. I'm typically a loose knitter to begin with, but like, it was very relaxing up there. So I did bring some things to cast on while we were camping too, just in case I did finish all the things that I wanted to finish, which I did. But you know when you like think you want to cast something on and then you're just not excited about it anymore or something? I don't know. So I bought some yarn to cast on some socks, which I did. And then I also brought up some piece fleece, which I've had for years. I got it at Knit City one year. I've had it for at least a couple years now. And I've wanted to make it into a cardigan. But after finishing Justin's sweater and wearing it around and being super cozy, I might make a Gramps out of that instead. I don't know yet. But anyway, the point of that was, I don't know what my point was. I ran out of things to knit, kind of. But then I cast these socks on. I just didn't want to cast these socks on, but once I did, I really like them. These are the Mermaid Avenue socks by Summer Lee. And this is, again, in Knit Pick Stroll. I'm not sure of the colorway, but it's kind of like a pumpkin-y orange. Really nice stitch pattern. It kind of makes these like little diamonds with little raised bits. And these are going to be a gift. My mother-in-law really liked the color of the sweaters that I made Justin and Georgia last year, and it was the same kind of orangey, burnt orange color. And I realized that I have 800 pairs of socks for myself, and I don't really need any more. So I should start knitting socks for other people. And so I decided to start with her, and so she will get these. It was her birthday yesterday. I was not intending to finish them by her birthday, so they'll be for Christmas or something. But I really like them, and I really like the stitch pattern. So I'm excited to cast on a pair of these for myself one day. It's really strange that I have 2 pairs of socks on the needles. I usually don't. I've actually picked these ones up, these stripy ones up again to finish them because I just feel so weird about having 2 pairs of socks on the needles. I don't know why it's such a thing for me, but it is. And I don't know, I just feel like sometimes I get into this, like I'll have 3 sweaters going and a hat and, you know, all these things kind of on the go. And then all of a sudden, they just all get finished. And like right now, I'm not having a hard time, but I'm just having a nice time finishing things. So I don't really have any plans to cast on anything new aside from those mittens. Maybe. But I might finish up at least those stripy socks before I cast those on. Yeah, I'm not that I'm not excited to knit new things. I'm just perfectly content finishing the things that I have on my needles, which is right now 2 pairs of socks. I have a shawl that I'm gonna frog it. It was something I kind of just cast on a while ago during the summer just to have something to knit. It wasn't anyone's design. I just kind of started doing stuff, and then I just don't actually like it. And I don't see myself picking it up to finish it, so I'm not going to. Because what is knitting if it's not fun? Yeah, so that is it for knitting stuff. For some life happenings, stuff that's been going on. As I said, we just spent 8 days in like on top of a mountain. There's this place that we go to. It's a campground, and it also has cabins, and it kind of has a range of everything, which is nice. It has tent sites and like RV sites, and then it has like you can lease sites up there too. So some people have their RVs or trailers up there, and then they have like their whole patios set up. They have like lakeside cabins. They have rustic cabins. They have cabins with hot tubs. They just kind of have a little bit of everything. And it's awesome. So we stayed in one of the rustic cabins, and usually we stay in this kind of, or the last time we went, we stayed in a small one. But because we're going for a longer time, like we had planned a trip there in the spring that we had to cancel, and then I decided that instead of doing it, because we were kind of going to do one trip in spring and one trip in fall, and so I decided to extend this fall trip because it's very rare that we take a vacation that's that long. Usually it's 4 days or 3 days, or just usually not that long. And it was really nice to be away. It was really nice to have the distraction of, you know, usually this would be a time where we're preparing Knit City stuff and I'm getting all my stuff out of storage and kind of organizing things and airing out the sweaters and just really amping up to this event. And that, since that's not happening, I wanted something to kind of fill the time and distract myself a little bit so that it wouldn't feel so empty, like, oh, it's the beginning of October and we're not doing anything. It's also our anniversary on the 17th, 14th, 17th, I don't know, one of those days. So this was kind of like a anniversary distraction, relaxing, very lovely trip. Georgia brought her bike up and we brought another bike, so there was lots of bike riding. It was actually like really hot while we were there a lot of the time, so there was I didn't swim, but Georgia played at the beach, and we brought the dirt bikes. So I rode. We couldn't go together because we only have one helmet right now, and we couldn't leave Georgia, and she's not tall enough to reach the pegs on Justin's bike, so it just not enough helmets, not enough safety. So we could go one at a time. So he brought his bigger bike, and then I actually did take my bike that I learned how to ride a couple weeks ago, and I took it up kind of a little bit. I didn't go very far or very fast, but it was really fun. You kind of go up this hill, and since it was sunny outside and the sun would come through the leaves, and it was this beautiful like yellow and just absolutely stunning going up this one part. And then all of a sudden you would turn this corner and all the trees are dead. It's pitch black. It's super dark and scary and like muddy. And I didn't want to be there by myself. So there was this like abandoned car kind of just past that little part, and there was a nice place to turn around. So I would like tootle up the hill and then get to the scary part and then turn around and go back down the hill. I just wanted to stay in the sunshine. It was very lovely. Yeah, so there was that. And then while we were up there, I get a text from Katie with her plane itinerary. So she has been in Hawaii for 2.5 years. I'm not sure exactly how long, a really long time. So she sent me a message saying that she was coming home on the 10th. And so I just like burst into tears. It was all very exciting. Because she was, there was a debate whether they were going to come back in August or December. And then like they decided on December, but then her son's school is closed. Like one of the daycare is open, but the school is closed. And so there was just a lot of cluster up over there. So she just said, nope, like we're just coming home. So they're gonna come and stay at my mom's house, which is in the same town that I'm in. So we're gonna be like 5 minutes away from each other. So they just have to, when they come, they'll have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And I'll have my sister back, which is really awesome and very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. It's gonna be nice to be able to, because we run Pip and Pin together, and so we have a lot of meetings over over Skype and FaceTime and I don't know, on the phone and like text messaging back and forth. And it's honestly, it's kind of annoying. So it'll be nice to actually be able to sit in the same room together and like talk about things, like be looking at the same computer, and like, yeah, it's just gonna be, it's gonna be so good. I'm really excited. We don't know what's happening. Justin and I have been talking about some kind of life-changing things, and just like not anything crazy. Well, kind of, I guess. I don't know. We've just decided that we need to change some things in our life, our living situation, and or jobs, or I don't know, just we need to overhaul. Basically, we've been in the same kind of space in every aspect of life for about 7 years. And it's just getting, it's just time. It's time to move on. It's time to, it's just time to change some things, I think. So we've been talking about that. We haven't made any concrete decisions yet because I don't know. It's one of those things where you like talk about something and then you make a decision and then something else kind of happens over here, and then it's like, oh, well, if we do this, then it'll affect this decision that we kind of already made. So we just have to decide on like one thing, and then the rest can kind of follow. It's like everything kind of depends on everything else right now. So it's hard to kind of see where all the paths are. So right now we're just at the point where we have to make a decision about something and do it, and then see where everything else is gonna land. I don't know. Life is hard. I'm just very thankful we are in a position to be able to make some decisions like that right now. Anyways, so I'm gonna go. I'm done babbling. Take a look at our knit along on Ravelry if you have some mittens that you need some inspiration to finish, or would like to enter some mittens or fingerless gloves, win some prizes, do some stuff. Sabino Canyon, the slow release mystery pattern collection thing, is available for pre-sale right now. Please go and check that out down below. I hope you are having a wonderful week. It's very nice to be back, and I'm just really excited for next week for when that first pattern drops. I'm excited for lots of things today. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye.